Way ya hey, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya. Way ya hey, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya. Way ya hey, hey ya, hey ya.
Hey there, this is Joe Delamore, and I'm talking to you from a quiet little spot in a pine forest in Western Mass on the return end of my journey to the East Coast. Several weeks ago, I headed out from my little town in Colorado, got in the car with my daughter, and drove all the way across the country to Cape Cod, Massachusetts, where I was raised and where my childhood home is and my family. And now I'm heading back to Colorado. So I wanted to just take a moment to touch base with you um, and share some of the experiences and insights that I had along the way. So, as many of you know, I sent out across the country to connect with people and create opportunities for connection and conversation around what's happening on the planet right now, the big changes that are happening. And along the way, I got to have some really fascinating conversations and connect in with people from many different walks of life, um, as well as observing the changes in the culture and the society and the land that have happened in the last little while here. So, so I get to kind of see this because I've been out of the Northeast for 3 years, and now I'm coming back. So I get to kind of see what's going on. And the main thing that I noticed among the people is that it seems that the intensity of personal lives and the quickness of time has really accelerated the the busyness and the need for all of us to be keeping up with so much now. So so one thing that I realized when I was talking with people is that um, many of us are in survival mode. Many of us are facing either the deaths or the imminent deaths and the disease of people who are close to us, our family members and our friends. Many of us are struggling with relationships and breakups or dysfunctional relations, either in our families or with our partners. Many of us are facing struggles with our personal health and addiction or um, disease or weight gain or these types of things in our own lives. And and just a general feeling of pressure, a general feeling of things are hard right now. And so I want to reach out and just kind of take a moment to acknowledge that. Take a moment to acknowledge that each and every one of us is facing so much in our lives right now and so much in the world right now that it's difficult for us to find time to and to find the energy and the motivation to take time out and really look at the big picture, at the big view. During the workshops that I facilitated, we had the opportunity to do that, and it was really healing, really beautiful, and also um, illuminating into how much we have to zoom out from our local concerns. And I don't mean just local in our area, but like local in our minds, like our specific, unique, individual concerns. Um, and when we zoom out, we see that each of those concerns are kind of rooted in the same mass concern. And this is a sense of disconnection. It's a sense of feeling either disembodied, like not fully in ourselves, or feeling disconnected from our families, from our social networks and our support, a feeling of being disconnected from the earth, and also a disconnection from the big story. You know, many of us can't quite face the big story because it's too big. Many of us don't have the tools and the resources that we need to be able to really look at what is happening here on the planet, what is happening here with humanity. And when we give ourselves the time and the space, and especially when we can be with other people who are willing to do that, we see that those local concerns or our inner struggles, they have a ground to rest on. They have the arms of the long arc of life that we're a part of. A beautiful insight that came through one of our workshops here was this realization um, that we are the results of a long line of successes and a long line of love, generation after generation after generation, working and feeding the next generation, nurturing the next beings. Our great-great-grandparents nurturing our great-grandparents, and our great-grandparents nurturing our grandparents, and our grandparents nurturing our parents, and our parents nurturing us to the best of their ability, in the best way that they were able. And the reason why we're here today is because of all of the successes along the way, all of the beauty that was poured into life and generating life. And now at this point in time, we are on the edge of the unknown. As always, we're on the edge of the future. We don't know where it's going to go. And what I feel is so important, and what kind of came through these workshops and these conversations over and over and over, is our need to kind of bust through the distractions and the noise and the chaos and all of the things that are going on around us to nurture life, to nurture the life that we have within ourselves and our bodies and our families, to nurture the life that comes through us and our children, to nurture the life of positive solutions and creative collaborations that can actually serve humanity and serve the earth as we move forward. And in order to do that, we really have to unplug, at least temporarily, at least momentarily, periodically. We need to be able to unplug from the busyness of, summer life on Cape Cod. That's a real busy one. The busyness of working all these jobs to try to pay the bills. The busyness of all of the distractions that occur through the media or through our addictions to our phones, and to that rapid pace of the technological revolution. And although technology is very supportive in some ways, and we can use it in supportive and constructive ways, it's the distraction of it that keeps us focused in this very short-term reality that makes it difficult for us to nurture that future life. So, as we were doing this work, we were doing deep time work where we connect with the ancestors that fed us, and we connect with those future beings that are calling us forward. And as we were able to do that, we could see the value of our own lives. We could see the importance of really listening to what's inside, listening to our heart's calling, so that we can stay committed and focused and keep on doing things that work, keep on doing things that make us feel better, that make us feel healthier, that make us feel more connected, keep on doing things that create opportunities for our children to be connected to the earth, to be connected to themselves, to know that there's a beautiful and creative future that awaits them. So so this is some of the work that we were doing, and some of the work that I'll continue to do when I get back to Colorado and also travel to the West Coast, and that I'm committed to doing now ever more so, because I see how challenging it is for each of us to figure out how we're going to make it today. And if we're always focused on how we're going to make it today, then how we're feeding the future generations gets stolen from, it gets taken away from. So that's an insight that I have for you today from some of the work that I did out here on the East Coast, and just a renewed passion, a strong renewed passion for doing this work of creating opportunities for us to connect and inspiring people to take a break from the busyness. Because once we do, we realize that life is breathing through us, our blood is moving through our veins, and Spirit is speaking to us from the inside. We can listen to that calling. We can listen to what is truly there for us to do, to contribute to the well-being of the world. Then we are growing something together. It's not just one of us doing this, but it's all of us coming together, growing a future. So, so that's my moment of inspiration here, my re-inspiration after some challenges and some struggles on the East Coast, but also after some beautiful conversations and beautiful connections with the precious beings that live there, the precious friends and family and community that lives on Cape Cod and in Boston. So, so just wanted to take a moment to share with you, and I hope you're having a beautiful day. Many blessings to you, and may you feel inspired to listen to your heart's calling and to commit yourself to following it. Aho.
Way, ah, hey, way, ah, hey.